Hi, everyone, and welcome to For the Girls with Becca Moore. I'm here with Bear Bear. Do you like being on the podcast, Bear Bear? Okay. So today I wanted to do an advice video. I have a lot of questions from you guys. Um, a lot about like WLW dating, but also just girl advice. So I love giving you guys the worst advice of all time. So let's get into it. But first, I do have some life updates. So the next 2 weeks, I am going to be traveling to Ohio, and I'm going to be bringing Shannon. So Shannon is meeting my family for the first time. I've never brought anyone home to meet my family. My family is like a pretty informal family. We're not like super like all cohesive and integrated into each other's lives like that. We just kind of have a different. What are you doing right now? My cat is licking himself. Um, I've just never brought anyone home to meet my family, so I am literally so excited, but also like nervous, because not for them to meet Shannon, but for Shannon to meet them, only because like there are some characters in my family, like it's just you don't know unless you know. But I really think it's gonna go great, and I'm so excited. Like, also another crazy thing is that Shannon lived in Columbus, Ohio. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. Shannon lived in Columbus, Ohio. Not even just Columbus, a smaller part of Columbus, which is Powell, Ohio. Both of us. I was born in Powell, Ohio, and Shannon lived there from when she was 4 to 7. What if we ran into each other? Also, there were places that it remembers that we both went to. Like sometimes I'll talk about a place and she will faintly remember it. Like, she lived 8 minutes away from me, her house. 8 minutes away. So we're going to both houses. I think I'm gonna knock on the door of the house I grew up in. I'm gonna ask if I can come inside. I don't know. Let me know if you in the comments if you think that's an invasion of privacy. I'm not really sure, honestly. I I think it'd just be so eerie, kind of. I don't know if eerie or it's just almost like sad to go back to my childhood home and like I know a new family lives there now, at least last time I was in Ohio. But yeah, just to visit. Every time I go, like I have so many like emotions. It used to be, I don't know. Going home for the holidays is kind of it brings up a lot of random emotions. Um, but I also want to take her to like the places that I worked because I feel like those were really like the pinpoints of my life where I can like remember that era. But I've had so many jobs, you guys. I've had jobs since I was 16. I first worked at a pizza place. That was the infamous pizza era that I talk about. But then I worked at an ice cream shop. I worked at um, like 4 different restaurants that I want to take her to. So yeah, like by the way, it's funny how it's all food service. Except I was a bartender. But yeah, it was all food service that I worked at growing up. But I wanted to even take her to the bar that I worked at in Columbus. It's just a little bit strange because there is like drama around that bar. There really is always drama around this bar. But there is like a legal thing going on. So I don't know what's going on with that. I need to ask people because I still know people that work there. Also another weird thing about like leaving a place is especially if you leave a job that you worked at, like you want for years to come, you want the same exact people to work there. And you want to like go back and all of your old coworkers are still working there. They're like behind the counter. Um, I hate the feeling of going back to a place and you just see no one you know anymore. It's like, oh my God, like, no, everyone's supposed to still be here. Or like if you move from a city, like you expect all the same people to live where they lived before and be exactly the same. And, I don't know. It's strange to leave a place. It's like, no, this is supposed to be how it was. So I think going back to my old house will be really weird. But also, like, that was a nice house that we kind of destroyed. No offense to my mom. I don't know. I'm blaming like solely my mom, but like really though, we destroyed that house. Like there were 5 kids in that house, and my mom was a single mom. Um, all of us were undiagnosed. We were all doing undiagnosed ADHD. And now I am diagnosed ADHD. And then when I got diagnosed, I realized that my mom definitely had ADHD too. And so it was just a really unorganized like house. Like it was never completely clean. We never had a maid one time. Like, we couldn't afford a maid. It was like dirty sometimes. And going there, and I'm sure like it would be easy to like obviously like be better at cleaning and making the house more organized and like a cohesive house with like a good design. We were also poor, so like we couldn't afford like great great interior design, but like it'll almost be, I kind of want it to be like way better than we left it. Like I want it to be like really cute in there. And I want to ask them if it's haunted, because it was haunted when I lived there. Okay, ghost update. There have been no updates. I think that like again, I hate like talking about it when I'm alone in this house, but yeah, it hasn't interacted with me since then. I think maybe it understands now that I want to be left alone. I feel bad, but I don't feel bad. I'm alive. I would like to be left alone. So there have been no updates. Nothing's happened. Knock on wood. Other updates. A huge update. The guest room in my apartment right now is being turned into a podcast studio for the girls with Becca. I'm so happy. I have seen the walls are all painted right now, and there's a couch in there. Everything was like ripped out from that room. So my apartment looks insane right now. There's stuff everywhere, but I'm so happy and like so excited to show you guys what it's going to look like when it's done. She said it's going to be done by Saturday, which is crazy. It's Monday right now. I'm like, how is that even possible? Yeah, I'm so excited. I feel like it'll just like I'm sorry that you guys have to look at me sitting on this couch every day for the past, I think, 22 episodes now. But thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for being patient. I'm so excited for the studio to come together. And it's so weird. Like it's going to be so official. The next episode that I record might be in that studio. I'm not sure. And it might be with a special guest. I'm also not sure. After that, I think I'm going to do an episode with my mom, hopefully, while I'm in Ohio. Every week, this podcast comes out on Tuesdays, but I will be traveling this Tuesday. Like, I will be flying on Tuesday, and the Tuesday after that, flying to Columbus, and then flying from Columbus to LA. So I don't know exactly how that's going to work. Uploading wise, I might have to be a day late on one of those days. I have been trying to be so consistent with this podcast, and I think I have done a good job of that, but I will be flying, and the studio is going to be built on Saturday, which means like I'm not sure if that's even, I don't know. It's if it gets done by Saturday, I have to ask the person that I have in mind to be on my podcast, but I just realized like I had a person in mind that I wanted to have as my first guest in that studio. So I have to figure out if they can do that. I think that you guys are going to want to watch next week's episode as well. So please subscribe, because I have 2 exciting episodes coming out. Special guests. And I think I want to get into like the family, like trauma, like everything with my mom. And I think it'll help you understand me more, if that's possible, if she lets me. She doesn't like to be on camera like that. But I think that it would be an interesting episode. So yeah, we have some exciting things coming up. I'm so excited for the studio to be done. Another update, I am medicated for my ADHD now, which is crazy. It's not the main one that you're thinking of. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name of drugs like that so I'm like better safe than sorry with that stuff. It is the one that it is a different version. It's like, I think like a completely, I don't know if it's tamer or what, but I'm on like the lowest dose, and it has helped me so much. And I was scared it would feel like a weird like euphoric feeling that I used to feel when I was like on the normal one, but I feel literally, well, it has been like 5 days now that I've been on it, but I feel completely normal, and like I have more of an ability to finish tasks. So that is a definite positive in my life. But speaking of like mental things, I went to a new therapist last Tuesday, and I feel bad like slandering this girl, but like it was a kind of a nightmare. It was like, it made me feel worse being there than I felt before I got there. I sit down. First of all, I thought this was going to be a Zoom episode. Zoom appointment. I did not realize that it would be in person because she lives far away from me. It was like a 32-minute drive. And that, at like 10 a.m. It wasn't even like rush hour. And I was like, oh my God, okay. That's fine. I show up like hoping I was going to like be able to ask for Zoom. She said no. I was like showing up hoping like maybe like in the future we could do Zoom appointments. And she said no. And I was like, okay. Before that, even though I show up to her house, walls of dolls. There are walls of dolls. Like dolls. And I look at them and I look at her and I was like, oh my God, love. And she was like, oh yeah, sometimes I offer sand to my patients. She thought I meant a little thing of sand that she had on one of her shelves. She thought I was talking about a little thing of sand. No. I'm pretty sure I'm looking at the dolls right now. Some of them are definitely really haunted. Some of those were haunted. Some of them were blue. Blue. How am I supposed to feel comfortable? There's also, oh my God, she makes me sit down on the couch and the teddy bears that were on the couch looked like dogs had like chewed on them a lot. So I just felt like, oh my God, does she have like a bunch of dogs? Because it's like they were like chewed up teddy bears all around me on this couch. And it just made me the entire time be like, do you have a ton of dogs? Like I couldn't not focus, but also I do have ADHD, so I don't really know. She starts asking me questions. She's like, why are you here? I said, I'm feeling avoidant in my life. And it like affects like my career, my relationships, my friendships, my family. Like literally it affects so many things. And she was like, oh my God, that's bad. Avoidance will ruin this world. And I was like, oh, well, you're making me feel awesome right now. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm not. I like took it back. Well, when she was explaining how bad being avoidant is. And which is not even like, I don't even know why I was taking it back. I was just like embarrassed by the way she was describing them. I was like, I actually don't know if I'm like, I don't know if I'm avoidant. And then she was like, well, I'm going to find out. Then she goes on to ask me what I do. I told her I do social media. She was like, what are you going to do after that? And I was like, I don't know. Oh my God, you're stressing me out. I have a podcast. And she was like, I have a podcast too. And I also do social media. And then all of a sudden I felt like a weird, like competitive vibe with her, which I did not intend set the tone for. I don't know. I tried to tell people, usually a lot of times I tell people that I'm in marketing and I don't even talk about social media, but I figured with a therapist, I probably need to tell her I do social media because something that comes up in my mental health a lot is like comments. Like I'm worried about comments sometimes. So like I have to tell my therapist that I do social media or else it won't make sense. Like they'll be like, what are you talking about? All these hate comments. Like, what are you posting? Like it felt competitive. And I was like, okay, I'm not trying to compete with my therapist. Are you my therapist or my enemy? And I felt like just so uncomfortable immediately because I felt like I had to downplay my life. And like, then I tried to explain like a situation. She was like, so tell me about your relationships in your like family life. And I had to like talk about something that was just not something I wanted to talk about. I wasn't comfortable talking about it. And then I like visibly like curled up and she was like, what's going, like, do you not want to tell me? And when I told her I didn't feel like safe to tell her, she was like, oh my God, yeah, like that's so, like, 'cause she said, I'm a big personality, like you're going to be uncomfortable with my personality. But like, I'm going to challenge you to tell me when you're uncomfortable. So I told her I was uncomfortable, like telling her on the first session, like something super traumatic, like so traumatic. And when basically she like coaxed me into saying it basically. And I start crying immediately, crying. She makes me put on this like weighted blanket that I was covered in dog hair. So it kind of took me out of the moment. Like she was like, do me a favor, grab that blanket right there. It was just covered in dog hair. And I have nothing against pets and like whatever, but like then I don't know. It just made me like took me out of the moment. I was like, do I have to? Like, how do you not see that this is covered in a bunch of stuff? Like, then I felt like bratty for thinking that way. But so I'm wearing this like dog hair infested. Maybe I'm just like an anti-dog because I have a cat now. I'm not anti-dog. I don't know. I feel like maybe this is coming off like rude. I don't know. But okay. I had it on me and I was crying, and then she was like just so like stoic, like not even stoic. I'm not sure the word to describe like her vibe, but then she was like, I've seen it all. Like that, I learned that something similar happened in my family. Um, I learned when I was 40 though. Like she kind of just like, I don't want to know. Like you're not, as a therapist, like I know that there are different approaches to therapy, but like I personally don't want to know that much about my therapist because I will start viewing myself through their eyes, and like I'll start like thinking about their perspective while I'm talking about like from their life events, like things that have happened in their lives. Like I don't want to view myself through like a perceived lens I have of someone. I want it to be like just so neutral. And she told me everything about herself. I know her political views, she said that we're gonna lose our bank accounts, which like this election was crazy, and like I know it was like hard for people, and I voted for Kamala. But like I don't want to, I have so much going on. Like I just can't worry about women losing our bank accounts. She said we are all going to lose our bank accounts. Good thing I have a credit card now. I better get married to Shannon now because I won't be able to get married in 5 years. And it was scary. And then she told me she's a lesbian. So does that make me feel better? And I was like, yeah, in a way, yes. But also I don't want, like she was telling me in a way to like let me know that she's on my side. Like she understands me better than another therapist could. And I was like, yay, I love lesbians. Obviously, I'm in a relationship with a lesbian and I want to be around lesbians, but like don't tell me on the first session. And it was just irrelevant. Like I think I don't want to know right now. I think I don't want to know. I don't know. So I knew this girl wasn't going to be my therapist. I knew like after, by the way, she said it was really spacey and I needed therapy. I needed, which I might bleep that drug out. I don't know, but she said I need like a intense form of therapy, like where they basically like put you in a coma or something. I don't know, or they give you something. I don't know. Then she says, "So, do you like me? You want me to be your therapist?" I was like, "Well, you do live half an hour away. That's like the only problem." She was like, "Well, half an hour is nothing in LA," and I was like, "Yeah." Okay, could we do Zoom? Totally being like, I don't even know why. I couldn't tell her the truth. I like didn't want to make her sad. So I was like, yeah, can we do Zoom? And she was like, Zoom, I need to see your body language. Like what I saw from you today was that you were very uncomfortable at one point. I would not know that over Zoom. And I was like, I don't know. I think you would know. Like, and also I don't want to do, I don't. So I agreed to a fake appointment on Wednesday. And knowing I was going to cancel it. Like I was like, obviously I'm canceling this. Then after I signed a bunch of paperwork, she lets me know that there's a 7-day cancellation policy or else she will charge me the full amount of the appointment. Charge me the full amount. What? She's going to charge me the full amount? So basically I'm going to get charged for that. But I have crazy experiences with therapists and things like that. But that took the cake. I don't even think like the unsettled feeling I felt after this therapist appointment, she made me just feel so, the feeling I felt was like you are a baby and I can take advantage of you or something. Because I feel like she could sense that I was being a pushover because everything she would say, I would be like, okay, fine. Like I felt like I had no power. Like I didn't feel empowered. I didn't feel like understood. I felt like, and it was an hour long. Like that's so long for this. Like she was like, and then totally taking advantage of me. I don't know. It didn't feel good. That's all I know. But anyway, let's get into the questions. I know this is a long intro. So the first question is how to make sure a girl knows that you're flirting with her. So with girls, you got to be more aggressive because of compet. But yeah, you have to be more like, I like girls. Like it might be easier to even like say that out loud. Like I like girls too. It might just plant the seed in their mind at least. And like throw everything you know about flirting with guys out the window because you are allowed with girls to be bold as long as you can tell that the other person's into it. But you need people to know that you don't be too bold where they're like uncomfortable, but you need people to know that you want the person to know that you aren't straight. So I say be a little bit extra bold. You don't have to say like I'm flirting with you, but just be like, I like girls. I made out with the guy my best friend has been crushing on for a year. How do I apologize? Why'd you do that? Why would you do that? Here's the thing. You chose a guy over your best friend. So I think in your apology, you have to be honest and say, I messed up. You have to tell the truth because she will find out no matter what. But yeah, you really did mess up. Not to give you tough love. I don't know how old you are. If you're in high school, I like people make mistakes, but like understand when in your apology to her, let her know that you are fine with whatever decision she makes, and she is totally allowed to not be your friend anymore. Like I think you have to be genuine and be like, you have full permission to not want to be friends with me anymore because she does. She does. That's terrible. Imagine that would make me vomit. That's losing two people that you liked a lot in your life all at once. And this is going to be her villain origin story. And she has permission to never want to talk to you again. So when you hook up with someone that your friend likes, you're choosing the person over your friend. So it depends on like who you like more. Like, do you really like this boy more than your best friend? That's weird and sad. Should I text my ex-girlfriend from my hometown when I go back during winter break? Yeah. Why not? I hooked up with my friend and he was so rude about it, and I feel weird because we were friends. This is why you shouldn't hook up with your... Actually, I don't really care. You can hook up with as many friends as you want. I truly don't care. But don't let someone be rude to you. That ruins your entire friendship. Ew. How to get confidence back after being rejected. Being rejected is everyone's biggest fear, but here's one fun thing about being rejected. You don't have to tell anyone. You don't have to tell anyone. You don't have to own it and be like, and post it. Do not post relatable quotes about being rejected. I really think that you can just, like, you can tell your friends in a way that frees you and lets you process what just happened, but you don't have to own this forever. Like, because you got rejected once does not mean that forever you have like a scarlet letter on you that everyone will know about and you should be embarrassed about it. No one has to know, really. No one has to know. No one has to know. If anything, it's like a funny story that you can tell at parties if you want to, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. You don't have to own that. You don't have to internalize it. It doesn't have to be your story. This doesn't have to be something that keeps happening to you. You learn something. You learn that this person isn't the right person for you because the person that you are going to be with will not reject you. Confidence comes from no external factors because you're not a reptile that needs like heat lamps on it at all times. Heat lamps being people telling it that it's great all the time in this metaphor. Do you understand? You are a warm-blooded person. You aren't cold-blooded. You don't need other things. You can warm yourself up from the inside. You don't need external validation. If you believe that you are a worthy person, you inherently become a worthy person. So you don't have to internalize the rejection, you know? Like, that's just one person's reaction to you. Also, like, products. Someone once told me that products have like a 20%, like an Oreo or something has like a 20% hatred rate. Like, people hate like chocolate ice cream. I like chocolate ice cream. Some people hate Chipotle. Other people love Chipotle, you know? But I like Chipotle because some random person didn't like Chipotle one time. It doesn't affect my opinion on Chipotle, you know? You can let go of someone else's opinion of you. How do I keep my hair cute if I work out every day and don't want to wash it every day? I wear headbands. I also have this problem randomly, and I keep Googling it, and there's not a lot of answers, so that's why I chose this one. And I actually am more opening up the floor to you guys to let you guys answer this for me. Is there some kind of product that helps with this? Because I can't wash my hair every day because I have extensions, and it takes like 2 hours every time I wash my hair. So please let me know. I do like to work out every day. And it's to the point where like I don't get on my treadmill on days unless I'm washing my hair that day. And I would like to run on my treadmill every single day. So please help me. My boyfriend broke up with me a couple weeks ago. Is it too soon to download Hinge? If this was your boyfriend asking this, I would say absolutely yes. And you need to go jump into traffic. But because it is a girl who got broken up with, yes, you can get on it the next day. I don't care. I do not care. I do not care. I do not care. Should I go visit my ex who is 2 time zones away? Yeah. Unless you have something else going on. I don't care. Go for it. How to flirt with butch girls as a femme. Where's my hug? How to become better at coming out to people. honestly, like if you just own it so confidently without being like tiptoeing, I'm so new. I'm literally so new. I just came out in July to the world, I mean. But what I've like become more comfortable doing is just owning it like, so proudly by just being like, I have a girlfriend or I'm bi. In the beginning, I'm proud of myself, by the way. In the beginning, it was very hard for me to say the words I'm bi. Remember that? I couldn't even get the word out on my own podcast called For the Girls. Literally, I can say it now. I'm bi. I'm bisexual. I think. See, now that I just said it a few more times now, I'm like, I don't know if I like that word. I'm in like the phase of being like a baby gay. I know I'm sure I'm going to go for saying the baby gay thing. Shannon got in trouble for saying the baby gay thing. And you know what? I'm just going to own it right here, right now. Sorry, Shannon. I don't even know if I'm going to remember to ask you if I can include this in my podcast in advance. But she was trying to defend my honor. And I felt sick when she was getting canceled. Because I was like, oh my God. She's trying to defend my honor. Basically, people were like questioning why a pro-lesbian would want to be with a baby gay. You guys don't know us in real life, by the way. It's just so crazy. These people have never been to like dinner with us. And anyway, whatever. I would never actually want to go to dinner with any of you that were trying to cancel my girlfriend. No, thank you. Basically, she was just saying like, stop treating baby gays like they're not worthy of being in a relationship with a lesbian that has been in relationships before, because their relationships prior were valid, and like I've been in love before. I've been dating people. I've been in relationships before. And people were like treating me like I was like a baby. I think that the process, what I'm learning is the process through that a baby gay sometimes goes through is like not being able to like own labels, because it just feels like wrong still. Like it feels like not applicable because you've just been so used to being one thing for the like better half of your life, I guess. So now I'm like still going through that process with the label thing. I'm like, bisexual just sounds not, it doesn't resonate with me, you know? Just that word, I think. I don't know. I think it's the word. I really don't like that word, but I know it's because of like the connotation that it's gathered throughout the years, and it's obviously like laced with homophobia. But here I am, just sitting in the after effects of years, of centuries, of all time homophobia. Anyway, should I hook up with my coworker in my car again? Yeah. Why would you not? Why not? What else is there to do during those like 10-minute breaks? Oh my God. Didn't that working in food service, literally you get like a 15-minute break unless someone needs you. We were on our feet, and if you're still in food service, kudos to you. That was still the hardest job I've ever had in my entire life. I cried all the time. All the time. Literally all the time. You're on your feet all day. You're tired. You are tired. So yeah, if you want to hook up with your coworker in your car, be my guest. I don't care. You're on your feet all day. You get 15 minutes in a break. Boring. It's boring. You're literally pretending to care about what people order as an appetizer and to have opinions on it. You know how many times I had to pretend to understand things about, I'm a vegetarian. Do you know how many times I had to pretend to know things about meat? A lot. One time I was working the phone. Someone called me and ordered a chicken sandwich. I said, yes, of course. How would you want your chicken sandwich cooked? He said, maybe just cooked? I don't really know. I've never been asked that question before. I didn't know there was no medium rare for chicken. I was 19. Working at Max and Irma's. I don't know chicken things. That is basically how every single conversation I had with a guest went. All the time. So yeah, I never did get promoted. When I did work at an ice cream place, I was never allowed to take off the training badge. And I worked there for 6 months. And my name tag said in training the entire 6 months I worked there. Looking it back, do I think that maybe I should have been diagnosed with ADHD as a 15-year-old? Yes. Yes. My girlfriend invited me to her semi-formal and I'm soft mask and I don't know what the fuck to wear. Let me ask Shannon. I'm doing an advice episode of my podcast and someone wants to know they are a soft mask or their girlfriend is a soft mask and they're going to a semi-formal. What should they wear? Let's see what Shannon says. I guarantee she's going to say she doesn't know either. She never really knows. That's like the hard thing for soft mask girlies. They don't really know what to wear. How to stop chasing a man. Imagine that you are the sun and other people revolve around you, you know? Like you are stationary and the man that you want revolves around you. Picture that in your brain and like just ground yourself like you are literally the sun. The world needs you. Okay? So the sun doesn't really care about what the earth is doing if we're being real. Does the sun care about what the earth is doing? No, not at all. Okay? So you are the sun and you don't care what the earth is doing. The earth cares what you're doing. Whatever you're doing pretty much makes the entire earth's schedule. The earth wants to know what you're doing at 6 p.m. Are you setting? Are you coming out? Do you want to go on a date with me? Does someone go on a date with me at 6 p.m.? Because we're all kind of down here on earth for the sun to want to go on a date with us. Does that make sense? I love metaphors. I really do. I don't know where they came from. I don't know where that one came from. But yeah, the sun doesn't care if the earth doesn't show up. The sun doesn't care if the earth stands them up for their date on Friday night. It'll just kill us all. The sun will kill the entire population of the earth in a second if it forgets to call the sun back. If the earth stops following the sun around, we all die here on earth. And that's the mindset you should have. I just made that up, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to trademark that. I'm literally writing that down. That was pretty good. I think. Is it necessary to let someone know they were wrong? Like, can't I just move on? It is not necessary, honestly. Sometimes it's more trouble than it's worth, and it puts more work on you to have to teach someone what they did wrong. It's too much. It's like you have to explain things. You have to teach someone how to be a good person. Just move on. And if you think that they can change, then take them back into your life. In some capacity, you could put them at a distance, but if you don't believe that they can change, let them go. Wish them well and let them go. You don't have to be like, you did this, 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 and this. I've tried that before, and it's not very effective. I think maybe like down the road, like 4 or 5 years from now, they'll see what they did wrong organically on their own time, you know? Organization tips, how to be at the right place at the right time and on time. I am not the person to ask. I am not the person to ask. Okay? My life is not organized. Knock on wood, though. I mean, not knock on wood. I'm supposed to speak nicely about myself. Yeah, my life isn't organized, so I don't really know, you guys. I'm not the person to ask. Life after high school graduation. What do I do? Oh, Shannon answered. Hold on.
Oh, God, I don't know. I still haven't figured that out myself. But I would say they should wear, like, a pair of... You know what? They should go to Aritzia and look around. Or, like, just look at Aritzia online and then find things that compare to that. Like slacks, nice pants, maybe a silk shirt, maybe a vest. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, honestly, Shannon loves Aritzia. It's either for girl bosses or soft masks. It's perfect for a soft mask. I will agree with that. As a femme, not so much anymore, honestly. They have a lot of cute stuff for a masky girl. Life after high school grad, what do I do? I don't even know if you're conscious yet. I don't even think I was conscious before high school graduation and during high school. Like, your life has not begun yet. I don't remember anything. Like, I remember what I did, but I don't remember, like, my consciousness behind what I did, you know? Like, I was definitely, like, on autopilot. Like, some weird force was controlling the actions that I did, and I don't know. It's not real. You're fine. Your life isn't real yet. No offense. It's not even offensive. It's just, your life hasn't started. Okay, it is 11 at night, and this episode goes up tomorrow. I love you guys. Just a reminder that the next 2 episodes might go up a day late, okay? They might be going up on Wednesday. I hope that's okay. It's just I have 6-hour flights both of those Tuesdays, so it's going to be near impossible to upload on those days, unless I figure something out. Just don't expect Tuesday, expect Wednesday the next 2 weeks. But I think it'll be worth it for you guys. I really think it'll be worth it. Okay. Goodbye, guys. I love you so much. I hope you got something out of this. Goodbye.